What's going on, everybody, and happy holidays. My name is Ben and welcome back to The Bench. This is episode number 1 of the 12 Sprues of Christmas. And today, guys, we're going to be drawing our very first kit and we're going to be seeing what we have in store for us. So let's go ahead and let me introduce you to our drawing system. This is the 12 Sprues of Christmas official drawing box. I picked this up from Target and there are 12 individual cubbies inside covered by tissue paper, and we have to go ahead and punch through each one of these openings for a different day. So we're going to start up here on the upper corner for day number 1, and we're going to move slowly all throughout the days until we reach the final day, day 12. Now again, I don't know what's in any of these boxes. I didn't load them. I have no idea what order they're in. It's just for fun. So my friend actually organized all of these. Thank you so much for helping me out on this. And we're going to go ahead and just punch through the first one, and then of course consecutively as the days go on. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. Let's punch through the very first one. There we go. And it is the Trumpeter ME262. This ought to be interesting. I've never actually built the 262 before, and now I'm going to do it in 1/144 scale, so that's going to be interesting. So let's go ahead and check out the box and see what's inside. Very nice little box. Let's go ahead and pop it open. Again, Trumpeter 1/144 scale, and let's see what we have in store. So let's just pop this off. So we just have one small plastic bag, nothing much here. Of course, we have our parts, and wow, this thing is tiny. Cool. Let's go ahead and dive on in, guys. Waste no time. So first off the bat, I got to tell you, the parts are actually very well molded, nicely detailed, especially for the size. We have a full internal compartment for the 20mm cannons up at the nose. That's kind of cool. We have some decent cockpit detail for, well, 1/144. Recessed panel lines, of course. We have a full assortment of drop tanks and rockets, which I'm not going to use. I want this pretty clean. Also, we have a little towing tractor as well, so that's really awesome. This is actually a really nice kit for the scale. This is actually really nice. I think this was like $6 online, so it's not like it's a huge hit in the pocketbook. And honestly, well, very nice looking kit. So let's go ahead and jump right on in, guys. We're going to throw in a time lapse here. We're going to start on the engine. We're going to go ahead and build everything. Push through. There's not a lot of steps and parts and pieces here, so we should be able to get through this pretty quickly. And then we're going to move on to fill up some seams, get some sanding, and we'll be right back. So let's hit it. We are back, everybody, and we have a basically assembled ME262. I'm just going over some of the fine panel lines and some of the seams that we have. Now, the fit is actually pretty good with this kit. I opted, as you saw, to go ahead and drill out the 20mm Canon holes. I'm not sure why I did that. It's going to be difficult for me not to do things like that, but I'm going to have to try to restrain myself so I don't go too overboard. The seams are minimal. We do have a little bit of seam issue here on the wings to the engines. There's a couple of seams there, but mostly we had pretty easy time getting rid of the majority of the seams, so that I'm actually very happy about. Briefly off camera, went ahead and shaded the model. We have everything really looking sharp, ready for paint. You might have noticed that in the assembly phase, I actually cut off all of the gear bay doors. I just didn't like them. They were just so thick. I decided to go ahead and push that notch up just a little bit. I went ahead and removed them, and I'm replacing them with some thin plasticard. This should be just fine. It's not too hard. They're very simple squares. It's not like I'm closing them up or anything, so I don't have to worry too much about the fit. Just have to make sure they look the part. So I'm just using a little bit of plasticard. We're going to cut these down into shape, file them down, and glue them with some extra thin. Nothing too crazy. So we are ready to begin painting. And that's going to be interesting because the painting on this is going to be small. We have to do camouflage patterns, and I don't know how I'm going to do that on this scale, but we're just going to try it. You know what? This is all for fun, so I'm excited. Let's go ahead and finish up these doors, and we're going to move on to painting. Moving right along, one step at a time. I did actually forget to mention that I needed to go ahead and mask off the canopy. Now, originally I had planned just to airbrush the inside and just call it a day. Maybe use some Tamiya smoke or something to go ahead and mask it down so you couldn't really see the inside too well. But these details are actually not too bad, considering that this is a very, very tiny little aircraft. So what I thought to do is I'd go ahead and mask off the canopy and just see what happens. I've got a very sharp, brand new X-Acto knife blade, and we were just going bit by bit with Tamiya tape. And if you thought masking off 1/48 scale canopies were tedious, you should try in 1/144th. This is absolutely nuts. I might have to go ahead and change up my tactics a little bit to make sure that I get these kits done within the time frame I've allotted, but this is my first shot out, so we're just going to push forward and see what we can do. All right, everybody, finally we're on to paint. I'm going to go ahead and cue up a time lapse. We're going to start with some RLM02, and that's going to be for the wheelbase, and we're just going to push on from there and get some decals going and, well, get this thing another step closer to being finished. All right, everybody, we are almost finished with the decals. We have the majority of the markings on the sides and the underside of the wing. Now we have to do the tops of the wings. That includes some stencils as well as the tail. So there are a lot of little decals here and there, but I think overall we're moving right along. If you notice too, this thing is a tail dragger, so we're going to have a heck of a time with that. But you know what? There's just not enough room inside that nose to put an extra weight. So what are you going to do? Now that we have all the decals on, I've overcoated them with a gloss coat just to make sure everything is sealed. And we're going to let that dry just a little bit, and then we're going to come back very quickly. I'm going to run over a quick wash, go ahead and darken up some of the panels. Very excited here, guys. So let me go ahead and jump off real quick, finish up the last few steps, and then we'll be back. Take a look at the finished product. And we are finished. Our very first model for our 12 Sprues of Christmas. Done. ME262 by a trumpeter, 1/144 scale. Man, this thing is so tiny, but it is actually a very nice kit. Off camera, I added a little bit of an aerial off the back here, a little loop. And we did a little work here and there with some weathering. Very, very minimal weathering, guys. I didn't want to do too much. And I think it looks pretty decent. I like how the post shade really showed up. There isn't any weight in the front nose, so it is a tail dragger, but I think we're going to be okay. I've got a little bit of museum putty up on that nose. That's going to help a lot. Honestly, this is a great little kit. I couldn't have asked for a better subject for my very first time out. If you're into the really small scales, this is a very, very nice build. Super simple, very easy. I might have spent a little bit too much time on doing some of the little odds and frills here and there, but you know what? I'm good with it. I've got some post shade, I've got some pre-shade on it, I've got everything I wanted to do. Basically, I did exactly what I would do on a normal model, I just scaled it down. I think it looks really, really cool. But that's going to do it for our very first episode here on the 12 Sprues of Christmas. This is going to be a really difficult thing to do, I think, but I'm going to push forward. We're really going to try. If I don't make it, I don't make it, but you know what? I'm still going to try. Again, a great little kit, so much fun to build, and I hope you guys had fun coming along with me. We'll go ahead and see you for episode number 2 of our 12 Sprues of Christmas. Until then, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back for episode number 2. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you soon.